Good morning, Oviedo High School. I'm Blair Brown.
And I'm Paula Rodriguez. Today is February 1st. Blair, can you believe the first month of 2018 is already over?
I know, it's gone by so fast. Have you kept up with any of your New Year's resolutions?
Actually, I've managed to keep a consistent exercise schedule.
That's good. Speaking of exercise, let's get this show running.
Let's take a look at what's coming up in today's broadcast. TJ goes downtown to see how recent construction developments have been affecting traffic around Oviedo.
We check out our most recent Teacher of the Week with a Teacher Spotlight.
We take a quick O-Town sports break with Brian.
And Ashlyn takes a shot with NJROTC Battalion Commander Jessica Moncrief as she learns about the girl behind the gun.
But for now, please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey Oviedo, it's Tyler. Earlier this week, we asked you to comment on your experience with the construction going around Oviedo using the hashtag TellOHS on Twitter. Here's what some of you had to say. Danny says it's difficult during rush hour and that there's a lot of traffic on the four-way road downtown. Vincella says it's difficult to walk home since most of the sidewalks are closed and that she usually has to find new ways to get home. And alumnus Carrie Lynn Gross weighed in saying that to get to work just 2 miles down the road from her can take 25 minutes in rush hour. Thanks for your responses. Make sure to tune in for another question next week. I'm Tyler, and now let's get back to Paula and Blair.
As many of you know, Oviedo's traffic can get a bit hectic during the day due to all the construction that is going on.
But believe it or not, having to deal with all that traffic will be worth it one day soon.
Let's go to TJ Seegers as he explains why.
For residents of Oviedo, construction sites have become a familiar part of the landscape. A single intersection will see the addition of both a new town center and the city's second Chick-fil-A. But what's likely been most impactful on Ovedians are the torn up roadways and construction barriers through downtown.
It's much more than just putting asphalt down. During the beginning of the project, for several months, you probably drove through the project and didn't see a whole lot of progress. And that's because much of our work at that point was underground, doing storm drainage, installing new storm drainage, putting in new water lines and sewer lines.
The current project undertaken by the Department of Transportation is the widening of Central Avenue at the intersection with Broadway. We first brought you coverage of this back in the fall of 2013 as we previewed some of the changes the city would undergo.
We hope for the best for Oviedo's future.
One of those changes was the January 2016 tearing down of the Townhouse Restaurant, a landmark in downtown Oviedo, and its move across the street to a new building. The widening saw the elimination of what could at times be a confusing and congested five-way intersection.
A lot of choke points, a lot of backup, a lot of congestion. So these projects are trying to alleviate that.
You did see sometimes here, I know I lived in the area right at the intersection with Geneva Drive and Station Street, County Road 419 there. Every once in a while you would see vehicles blocking people from going through that intersection.
But these future benefits require residents, including first-time drivers, to tolerate present-day frustrations.
Yeah, for people starting to learn how to drive, it is a pain. For those kids first getting their permit or even with their license, kind of young drivers, it's not that pleasant of an experience to be driving in an environment this early on.
It's affected me personally because there's always traffic and always noise, and it's a really big inconvenience of trying to leave the neighborhood and being stuck in it. Like I'm trying to leave, get to school on time, or go out with friends, and I just can't even leave my own neighborhood.
I feel like that whole area has been torn up for quite some time, so it's going to be nice when they finally get it all sorted out and we can just drive in peace.
But that peace won't be permanent as plans eventually call for a second phase of construction, the widening of Broadway Street right in front of the Oviedo High School entrance.
We're buying right-of-way for the next phase of construction. We're going to wrap up that piece that Jeff was talking about, and then eventually the other stretch, 426, is going to go under construction from right around where Oviedo High School is to Avenue B.
The second phase won't likely begin for a few years, but depending on the timeline, it runs the potential of impacting Oviedo's current freshman class by their senior year.
The whole reason that we do jobs like this is to improve traffic flow.
You're getting rid of the congestion, you're getting rid of choke points, that makes it safer. You're also able to handle more traffic and also handle the growth. And so that's the main focus there with our partnership with Seminole County.
For now, Oviedo residents are looking forward to a day of smoother pavement and a little less orange. For WROR-TV, I'm TJ Seegers.
Last week, one of my very own teachers, Mr. William Schultz, was presented with a Teacher of the Week award.
Let's go to the Performing Arts Building to learn more about Oviedo High School's outstanding choir director.
It's more than a job. It's a lifestyle. It's a calling. Being with the kids, getting the kids all together to get them all pointed in the right direction and perform together and create a product, an artistic product together. But the thing that keeps me going the most is that I get to see these kids come to us from, I like to say, that creature that comes to us from middle school that, you know, can barely walk down the hall and you know, is making fun of everybody else and that kind of thing. I get to see them grow into adults that are getting ready to leave high school and go off to college and eventually make a difference in society. And being a choir director, I get a lot of my kids for 4 years, so I get to see that process from beginning to end.
He's supportive and he tries to help wherever he can and whenever he can, and he's just that kind of teacher you can talk to about anything you need to, when you need to. Even if we're doing bad, he keeps encouraging us to do better and keep pushing to do our best, and he just gets us really confident and pushes us harder, and we just work as a team.
We come together, we work hard as a team, we learn all the music, we perform, we audition, but the bigger thing to me is that the kids are learning how to behave as a member of society, learning how to be a responsible part of a team, and so that the team can put together a great product and we can entertain people.
Blair, did you know that both our soccer teams will be playing in the postseason this year?
Yeah, but I haven't really been able to keep up with how they've been doing during the regular season.
Well, you're in luck. Let's go to Ryan Hart for this week's O-Town Sports Update.
Hey Oviedo, I'm Ryan with your O-Town Sports Break. Last night, boys basketball defeated Lake Brantley 61-59 to improve to 17-5. Tomorrow night, they're on the road at Seminole. The girls team also picked up a win, 56-51, coming back from an 11-point deficit at the half. Riaje Trevino had 24 points, and Anna Tahey added 16. They have their final game of the regular season tomorrow versus Freedom. It will also be senior night, so come out to support the ladies. Boys soccer wrapped up their season with a loss in the district semifinals versus Seminole, and they lost 4-0. To finish the season, 10-6-4. Girls soccer hosted a district tournament last week, taking home the title. We were there for the highlights of the action.
The Oviedo Lions girls soccer team faced off against the Lake Mary Rams in the district finals. With a win, the team would secure their 4th district championship in a row. The Lions started the game well. Lake Mary had several opportunities to score, but the Oviedo defense held firm and did not allow a goal. The Lions offense totaled 3 goals in the first half, giving Oviedo a 3-goal edge going into halftime. With 17 minutes remaining in the second half, the Lions scored off a corner kick for their 4th goal of the game. This was also the 100th goal of the season. The girls will go on the win 5-0, now having outscored their opponents 101-0. The team is now 18-0 and are district champions. Oviedo will go on to play in the region quarterfinals on Tuesday, February 6th at home at 7 p.m. versus Dr. Phillips. Make sure to come out and support your girls.
There's a lot to look forward to this weekend as well. On Saturday, boys wrestling competes in the conference tournament, and Alexis Jones, Sammy Ross, and Lindsay Lee compete in the girls weightlifting state finals in Panama City Beach. On Sunday, our competitive cheer team is in the state finals at the O'Connell Center at UF. Now that's all I got for sports. Let's go back over to Blair and Paula.
At the beginning of the show, we saw Jessica Moncrief presenting the pledge as NJROTC's battalion commander.
But what exactly does that imply? Ashlyn Register explains.
Jessica Moncrief is a senior at Oviedo High School. She's a battalion commander and on the award-winning marksmanship team, but she never thought she would make it this far in her career.
So when I first joined the marksmanship team, I'm almost certain that my parents had more faith in me than I did. I didn't really have a niche before I came to high school, and I bounced around from sport to sport growing up, never really being able to settle with one. When I first found out I was good at shooting, I could just feel it was my big moment. It was one of those times when you just knew everything was going to change.
Jessica made the A-team as a freshman, which led her to countless awards, such as Sunshine State Game Champion and Junior Olympic 3-par victor. Her dedication and hard work led her to those.
It's very hard to improve her shooting skills when she's at practice and or at a competition. She truly stays focused on what she's doing so that she can better herself and her skill.
One of her most memorable competitions was Navy Nationals in Alabama, where she was crowned second in the Navy and now holds a national record.
Everyone in the stands was silent when I finished competing, and they were all trying to do the math to figure out who had won. And when the scoreboard finally updated, everyone remained dead quiet until my coach stood up and announced she just got second in the entire Navy. I couldn't believe it. I remember hugging my team crying.
Jessica's family and friends are always there to help cheer her on and make sure she stays on target.
So the way we support her is every so often she'll look back over her shoulder and she'll see that we're sitting there watching her, and we'll smile at her, except we can't do anything else. So it's silent support, but being there is huge for her. She can turn around and see that we're right behind her the entire time.
She has accomplished a lot through her high school career. Her next step is college.
She had an opportunity to go to college and shoot for the U.S. Coast Guard, and I think she's going to, I'm not sure where she's going to finally wind up at yet, but she will have an opportunity to shoot in college if she wants it.
From third in the country for the American Legion Marksmanship Program to competing at the Olympic Training Center and holding the highest individual ranking Oviedo High School has ever had, Jessica is not done. She is heading back to nationals for one more year and is striving with her team to come out on top. For WROR-TV, I'm Aspen Register.
Well, that's all we have for you today, Oviedo.
Have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.